The question of the day. It is time to have this conversation. Are you ready to blow out your goals and your sales for quarter 4? Well, my name is Monica Michelle with Monica Michelle Marketing. I'm your solutionist marketer. And we're going to talk about that very thing because I assist business owners with figuring out what their marketing plans are. And a lot of times that involves setting some goals and looking at realistically, what are we able to do? That's what we're going to do right now together. So, okay, here we go. So we're going to plan out right now how to go ahead and be fully prepared for Q4. We're still in Q3, so this is the perfect time to make ye the plan. First, what you're going to do is go ahead and make sure you grab a pen, a paper, or if you use the computer, then so be it. Get your computer. If you have any questions while we're going along, drop them in the comments because I will be watching. And we're going to dive right on into this. So make sure you put your comments below because I definitely want to hear what you have to share and what questions you may be running into as we're going along. I'm getting logged in right now. Boom, there we go. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is, and hopefully you go back and watch the replay of this so you can pause it as you go along. But the first thing you definitely want to do is make sure you go ahead and identify, set clear goals. You want to identify what you want to accomplish in Q4. If you have a sales goal, if you have just something you want to do, you want to start a YouTube channel, whatever it is, set that goal. So at most, because what will happen is we can come up with 942 million things we want to do. At most, do 3. Okay. Write your goal down, get clear on your goals. What is it that you want? Do you want to get to 15,000 every month? Do you want to have a successful YouTube page? Do you want to develop a marketing plan and stick to it? Do you want to go live every day? What is it that you want to accomplish? Do you want to have an event? Go ahead and write that out. Now that we know what our goals are, then you want to go ahead and figure out, you want to take action, and we start breaking this thing down in order to do so. You want to break down each goal into smaller tasks or actions that need to happen in order to make this thing work. So think about all the things that you could possibly do in order to achieve whatever your goal is. If you want to have a successful YouTube page, then you need to post a video at least once a week of high quality. And then there's some other things as far as marketing and letting people know that this YouTube is up and you have all the things. You need to research and make sure you have the right topics and all that. Write down everything you could possibly think of to support this action. Now, if you're needing help setting your goals, if you need help figuring out how to map this thing out and how to do this, and you want someone to do this with you one-on-one, then swing by solutionistm.com so we can work on this thing together and you can schedule some time so we can go ahead and make it happen. Okay? Because you have to set the goal. Number 3 is you want to go ahead and say, now that I have all these tasks listed out, it's time to figure out where they go. We want to schedule them strategically, right? We want to go and say, well, I have to do my research before I start recording my videos. And I guess the reason why I keep talking about YouTube videos is because I have a YouTube channel. With the YouTube channel, we're setting everything up and doing all the things. And so some of what I had to do was say, okay, what is it that I want to talk about? Let me write down some questions and some topics that I think might work. And then I have to do my research on these topics, at least 4 of them before I record them, right? So I don't have to research all of them, but I do have to research a handful of them. Now, because I'm recording videos every month, then I'm going to put that down in each of the months. Each month, I'm going to say, okay, I have to do research in October, I have to do research in November, and I have to do research in December. October, I'm going to have to do more research than the other 2 months because I'm just starting. But in December, I'm not going to have to do as much research because I have a little bit of a flow going on already. So do your research. All right. So once you figured out what month each of these tasks go in, and you can literally just look at your list and label those, put a 1 for month 1 next to the first couple of ones, put a 2 next to month 2, put a 3 next to month 3. Then you want to go back and say, okay, we need to dive in deeper. We need to assign specific weeks to the task that we've given. So if I'm looking at the month of October, then I'm going to do my research the first week of October, because the second week of October, I'm going to well, the first week in October, I might list all the things that I think may work. Whereas the second week in October, I'm going to do my research. I'm going to check and see if they're if they're rich quality, or if that's something that people really want. Are people currently looking for it? And then the third week, I'm going to mark down number 3, 4. I'm going to actually figure out what day I'm going to record and get some recording done, because the fourth week, I'm going to do some scheduling. So you want to take the things that you've put in month 1 and kind of map them out. What week goes with what week, which week goes with which item. And you're going to do that for month 2 and also do it for month 3. So let's back up and do a quick review. We want to first identify clearly what our goals are. We want to set at least one goal, at most 3. Focus is key. When you have 942 million goals, you're less likely to hit it because you're focused on a lot of things. If you say, I'm going to get these 3 done, I'm going to get this 1 done. And if I get other stuff done, then kudos to me. But this is my main thing that I have to get done first. Kind of like when your kids trying to get up and get ready to go to school in the morning, you have to put clothes on so we can leave out of the house. There's other stuff that may pop up. Oh, they talking about rain on the news. Oh, they got, okay, we got to go. We're trying to leave the house. So if it ain't about leaving the house, nothing else really matters. That was the first one. Number 2, we want to take action. Break down all these goals into smaller tasks and actions. List out all the tasks and actions that you think you need to do, that you need to do, that, it's just think about all the things, write them all down. And then number 3, we're going to start scheduling them strategically. We're going to determine what goes in what month. We're going to decide inside of this month, what week does this assign to? We want to have a clear timeline. This has to be done before this. And I recommend doing this with pencil, because as you start mapping things out, then you might say, that I need to record. Oh, well, I can't record before I do my research. I can't do my research until I got an idea. So I need to get my idea first. So you might write one down and figure out, no, let me erase this, because that's actually number 3. All right. Number 4, time management. Give an estimate. Calculate how much time do you think you're going to need for each of these tasks. Now, it is important that you figure out how much time these things are going to work. This is your first go around of doing this. So you may not have the timing exact. Give yourself a little extra buffer. You may have, if you run over the time lot, it's not a big deal, but say my research, I'm only going to spend 20 minutes on researching. I'm only going to spend an hour on researching. The reason why we want to put time on it is because we live in a space and a time that is based off of time, that there's only so much time in a day. And when we put that time limit on it, we can get it done inside of that limit. So go ahead and make yourself a limit. There's an old story about figuring out how to eat an elephant. And so the proverb, I don't know if it's an African proverb, Chinese proverb, I don't know, but I've heard this story so many times. And so the thing is, you have to eat an elephant. And the question is, how do you eat an elephant? And you literally eat the elephant one bite at a time. I'm going to eat this part first. I'm going to eat this second. I'm going to eat this third. Why? Because it's a freaking fracking elephant. It weighs tons. It's huge. And a lot of times the goals that we set, they may be large, huge, expensive, impactful goals. But at the end of the day, if we don't take the time to do it one step at a time, we'll never get there. If we aim at it and we say this is the goal and we start chipping away at it, at the end, we may not hit the actual goal, but we're way closer to it than we would have been had we not had a plan at all. It's quite possible that we hit the goal right on its head. And then it's also possible that we far exceed the goal. So go ahead and map all that out and be clear about it. And figure out, give yourself an estimate, be realistic, and allocate the necessary time to ensure your success. So number 5, and this is the last one, and I have something awesome that I'm going to share with you in a little bit, but with number 5, you want to make sure that you block this time off. You already know in week 1, I need to write out all the topics that I could possibly think of. In week 2, that I'm going to do my research. You already know what's in week 1, week 2, week 3. So go ahead and say, all right, let me pull out my calendar, your project management system, whatever it is you use to manage what you're supposed to be doing, pull it up and go ahead and block that time off. The reason why you want to block it off is because you're making an appointment with yourself. You have these tasks and this timeline and this time allocation all figured out. So you want to block off these dedicated slots on your calendar so you can treat the blocks as non-negotiable appointments with yourself. They're non-negotiable appointments with your goals. You want to say, all right, no, I have to do this at this time. And so if you use Calendly or a schedule tool, that's going to prevent other people from scheduling during that time, because this is sacred time. I am working on my goals. It might be I have to wake up 15 minutes early every day to do this thing. It might be I have to stay up a little later. It might be during my lunch. This is what I'm doing. However, wherever you're going to fit these things into your schedule, go ahead and do that. Mark it off in your schedule. This is like when you have your doctor's appointment, your hair appointment, these things are important to you. You show up for it, you do it. These goals are your goals. They're going to move you forward. They're going to take you to the next place. So they're important to you. And go ahead and dedicate the time ahead of time to do it. Another benefit of making this schedule on your time, scheduling this into your time, is that when you're waking up and you don't feel like it, or you say, what I had to do today, your goal is on top of mind. And the reason why it's on top of mind is because you've already allotted the time. You've already marked it off. You're able to say, okay, I got to go, but I'm not sure what I need to work on, because maybe you've forgotten, but the goals are already built into your schedule over the next 3 months. So you're able to say, oh, well, let me just look at my schedule. Oh, this is what I need to do next. And then you can move through and do that thing. So go ahead and block the time off, make that appointment with yourself, and don't miss it. You're making a promise to yourself, and you want to be integral to yourself. You want to be integral to your goals. You want to be integral to what you've set up. So keeping these promises to yourself is going to help you keep these promises and goals and targets to your clients. So if you're needing any help with this stuff at all, any guidance at all, the goal is to make Q4 the most successful quarter yet. You still have time to end this year on a super strong note and knock it out. You also need to keep in mind that the holidays are starting to go to fall towards the end of the second month and the third month. So in return, if you're like a holiday busy kind of person, buying all the gifts, going to all the parties, then try to make sure you buffer more of your stuff towards the top of the quarter and maybe even the middle of the second month, because you want to make sure you have enough space. If you have any questions or you need further guidance, just let me know. You can schedule some time with me over at solutionistm.com. I have a little spreadsheet that kind of walks you through this, and like a little worksheet, because you know I love a good worksheet that can walk you through, so I can get that for you. But then we can also do it together, and we can see Q4 win. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, as well as tell me, what's your big, hairy goal for this last quarter? I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you next time.